Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trent Advantage webinar series. My name is Spencer Anderson, and I am an enrollment advisor here at Trent University. The topic of tonight's webinar is going to be for course registration. So I have two amazing people joining me today, Linda Pinto, who is a representative from our registrar's office, and Tina Frigin, who is an academic advisor here at Trent University.
Hello, everybody.
So we're going to have some fun tonight. We got a great presentation prepared for you that will be starting shortly. Just some reminders before we get started is we will be taking questions after the presentation. So if you do have any questions that come up throughout, please put them in the questions and answers section of the webinar that is available in front of you on your screens. We will be answering all those after the presentation. And just another short note is we will be hosting a variety of orientation events throughout the summer that you will have access to help regarding course registration, amongst other things, at the university. The first of these is June 23rd. So I'd encourage you to go to trentu.ca/orientation to find out more information regarding these events. And without further ado, I guess we will get started.
Yeah.
So let's turn it over to Tina.
Webinar world. My name is Tina Frigin. I'm an academic advisor at Champlain College, and we've created a webinar for you today to help you learn how to register for your courses. One of the first questions we get, though, when it comes to registration is how to select your courses. Which courses do you need for your major? This is very, very common questions that we get, and hopefully through the first half of this talk, we're going to cover all the different places where you can find some of these answers and to help you make the right decisions. The second half of the webinar today is going to be creating a schedule that works for you and how to actually register for those courses. So Linda will be covering that the second half of this webinar. And then at the last slide, we are going to make sure that you know just how to connect with us. So while registration isn't open right now, we are going to go through all the different steps with you. The day of registration, then you can call our helplines through the academic advising helpline, or the colleges, student staff can help you during regular working hours. So anyway, let's get started. One of the first questions I'm always asked, Spencer, is where do I find all the courses that I need for my degree? One of the most important documents that we have at Trent is the academic calendar. You can find this at www.trentu.ca/calendar. It's a very, very important document. Not only is it going to be helpful for you when selecting your first year courses, but it also has information about deadlines, academic policy, all the different majors offered at Trent, and special degree opportunities. This document you're going to end up using throughout your whole degree, throughout all the years that you're at Trent, so I hope that you become familiar with it. Since it is a very long document, advisors have created web pages to help first-year students identify the exact course requirements for their major. You can find the advising resources on the My Trent portal. Under the Supports tab, all your resources are there for you. So we do have an advising resources application that you can then click on to get to our website. So what do all these course codes mean? As soon as you open the academic calendar, one of the things you would see is that in every different major, there's going to have a long list of requirements that you'll have to meet in order to graduate from that degree. I'm using the example of the psychology right now that's on page 225. As you can see, at the very top of the selection that I've highlighted, you will need 20 credits in total for your degree, and 10 of those would be the specific credits outlined by your department. So in this case, psychology has outlined 10 credits that they will want you to take. So that means that the other half of your degree, the other 10 credits for a psych major, would all be electives. These different, how many departmental requirements and electives vary dramatically depending on what your major is. So it is very important for you to look at the academic calendar and see how many electives your major is going to offer you. Within all of these, each department, they isolate which courses in particular. But what do these course codes mean? So at the beginning of each course code, you're going to have a departmental code. In this case, it's PSYC, which is psychology. The course number, which is 1020H, that is outlining that what level of course it's at. So in this case, it's a 1000 level course. 1000 level courses do not often have degree requirements. They do have recommendations for what you might have studied in your high school, different for you courses, but they will not have requirements for registration. So these are considered introductory courses that are open to first-year students. We want you to explore the first-year courses for any major that appeals to you. The letter at the end of the number is either an H or a Y, and this is going to tell you how much it's worth. So if you think, I've told you that you have 20 credits for your entire degree, and now this course in particular, being an H, is a half course. That's a 0.5 credit course. So in order to get 20 credits, you would need 40 of these H courses to equal 20 credits. Some courses at Trent, however, end in a Y, and that means that that course is the full year course, and it accounts for 1 full credit. So in this case, in this example of psychology, you would be looking for what courses to take in your first year. Well, you'd be looking for the 1000 level courses. If you're a transfer student and you already think you have those transfer credits, you would not want to retake these courses. But that is something that should be reviewed by looking at your transfer credits, as we'll describe later, or with an advisor. So on this page that I've already mentioned, that advisors have collected this information for you. The calendar, again, can be difficult to navigate, so we've created this link to this web page that allows you to look up your major of focus and what credits they would prefer you to take in your first year. So in this example one, we're again using psychology. I'm showing you that the required courses are just 2 half-year courses. These are usually taken, one in the fall and one in the winter. The rest of your course selection is flexible and consists of elective credits. So what we would like you to consider is to take required introductory courses for a few different programs that you might find interesting to open multiple pathways for the future. A lot of the times, students start taking electives and then they realize that this is a whole new passion that they're just recently exploring, and the next thing you know, they're going to choose it as their either major or joint major. So your electives are just as important as your major requirements. So please take some time and explore things that are interesting to you. In the second example I'm using is for sustainable agriculture and food systems. You can see that there are many different requirements for this degree. It's really important for you to know in this major in particular if you're going to be aiming for the arts or science stream. If you're not sure which one, look at both, and maybe you want to take courses that would lead to both streams to keep your options open. In this case, they're showing you different requirements for a single major general degree, the single major honors degree, a joint major honors degree in the arts, and then in the sciences. So these are different courses depending on what stream you're going to. As you can see from these lists too, there's more than just 1.0 credit worth of required courses. There's 1, 2, 3.5 for the arts, and 1, 2, 3.5, 4 for the sciences. So looking at all these different requirements, you might have fewer than electives than, say, the example with the psych major. We really hope that you can use this page and that'll be helpful for you when you're picking your courses. So a lot of students ask the next question is, how many courses do you take? It's hard for advisors to just have a general answer to this because course load is going to be a personal decision. Some people talk about their university degree as a 4-year degree. So if you take 20 credits divided by 4, you would take a maximum of 5 courses per term. So now, so it's 5 courses in the fall, 5 in the winter. But not everyone has to do a full course load. If you had past individualized educational programs, maybe you need to work part-time in order to subsidize your finances. Well, if that's the case, then maybe full-time isn't going to be appropriate for you. Sometimes students take 3 courses per term, 4 courses per term, or 5 courses per term. course load can always be discussed with an academic advisor, as we always want to make sure that your degree is going to be the one that's right for you. So choosing electives is another common question that we get when it comes to course selection. Again, we always going to suggest to take courses that you might be interested in. What did you like in high school? What different degrees were you applying to when you're applying to universities? Was it all just biology, maybe some psych? Maybe you're interested in cultural studies and you might have some music interests. There's endless options available here at Trent when it comes to the introductory courses. So there is a course videos webpage that I've shared the link to here. And this webpage is really helpful in at least introducing the different majors. Sometimes if you're in a high school where they didn't have anthropology, you might not understand exactly what types of content would be covered in anthropology, and the course videos can really help you out there. Now, these videos were made a few years ago. Our course codes may have changed from these videos, but they still give you a good rounded idea on what the different majors have to offer. So really choosing electives that interest you, that complement your major, and open options for you in the future. So as I mentioned before, transfer students, people coming from another institution that are going to be bringing along transfer credits may want to speak to an advisor at some point to make an academic plan before the school year starts. One of the best things you can do while you're waiting for an advising appointment is making sure that the admissions office has processed all of the transfer credits before choosing your courses that you're going to take for this academic year. To find out if the process is complete, you can contact admissions@trentu.ca. You can see what stage your transfer credit process is in by looking at the My Trent portal. Under the Academics tab, there is a button for transfer credits, and when you click on this, you can see which credits you had at your past institution and what credit you are getting for at Trent. Not all of your credits might be up there because your process might not be complete. Again, I strongly recommend making sure that the process is complete, get the most of your past education that you can have to apply to your Trent degree, and then advisors would love to show you how that could work in your academic plan. So when you are trying to figure out what courses you're going to take this year, on the advising website, we have a few resources. In this photo on this slide, I'm showing you our first year course selection worksheet. This is just to show you just how the courses can work together. It gives you all the different links to the resources that you can use to find out what courses would be good for you for your major. I want to remind you that you can find these resources on the advising website. You can find them through the My Trent portal or the advising website. That's www.trentu.ca, advising. If you need help learning how to pick out your classes, you can always call 705-748-1011, extension 7333, to speak with one of our student staff who'll be happy to address your questions. You can also connect directly with your colleges. If you don't know which college is that you're going to be applying to yet or joining, you can always just email our overall arching email, which is colleges@trentu.ca. We would love to help answer any of these questions. So before I move on to Linda, who's going to be showing you the different stages of the visual schedule builder, the next step, once you know what your courses are that you do want to take, you want to see how they're going to fit together. The first place that I would like to address is the academic timetable. This is an amazing resource that Visual Schedule Builder pulls all of its data from, but it's a great way to see everything in terms of a list instead of through the schedule builder. So we have the academic timetable at www.trentu.ca/timetable, and it shows you a lot of information. So as you can see on this slide, there's a blue line. That's telling you the lecture time. Tells you the first column is the course code. That's Psych 1020H, and that's section C. So what that means is that with all of the following seminars that are listed in white and green blocks below the lecture times, all of those seminar times are going to be associated with that one lecture time. So every time that you are going to be picking a course, you're going to be picking a course that has a specific lecture time, and then you are choosing which seminar time to join with that lecture time. So you can do this all through Schedule Builder, as Linda is going to show you. It is a lot easier than doing it manually through the timetable, but it is nice to know where this information comes from. As you can see from this, again, the blue row, you have the course code, you have the section, so it's 2017 in the fall term, so it's showing you that it's fall. FA is fall, WI is winter. The course name is Intro to Psychology. It's offered in Peterborough. The lecture is on Thursday at 1 p.m. Okay, so what you would do when you're using Schedule Builder, you have the one lecture time, and then you'd be choosing which seminar times you want to match with that lecture time. So now we're going to move on to Linda, and she's going to help you learn how to use Schedule Builder to plan your courses. Thanks, Linda.
So hi everyone, it's Linda. I work in the registrar's office and we're going to jump right into it and get registered into classes. So step one is logging into your MyTrent portal. You're going to visit www.trentu.ca/MyTrent. Type in your username and password. Once you have logged in, you're going to see this screen. Locate the Academics tab at the top of the screen. Click on Academics and scroll down to the Courses heading. Under the Courses heading, there are many important icons to help you choose and register for courses. Many of these icons were talked about earlier in this webinar. A great place for new students to start is the Schedule Builder tool. After you click on the Schedule Builder tool icon, you will come to this screen. This Schedule Builder tool will give you hints. Please refer to the yellow highlighted steps if you ever do not know what to do next. Step one is to choose a term. We have a few different terms at Trent. We have the 2017 fall term, which starts in September and ends in December. The 2018 winter term starts in December and ends in April. And if you register in a full year course, it will run in the 2017-2018 fall winter term, which starts in starts in September and ends in April. You may want to register for courses by term. Step two is select your desired course location. As you can see, the yellow box has popped up again to tell you what your next step is. If you want to choose multiple locations, you can. Step three in the Schedule Builder is to type in the course code or name of the course you would like to register. If you do not know the course code of the course you want to register in, refer to the academic calendar for the 4-letter code of the department. For example, mathematics would be MATH as a short form. I've decided to use business administration courses. The 4-letter code is ADMN. As you type in the code, all available courses start to populate. Only courses that are offered for the term you select will appear. Once you have chosen a course, press the Select button. Once you select a course, you will see it displayed in a schedule format. Here's an example of a schedule. If you look at Chem 1000H example, you will see that there are two options here. The lecture is the same for each student, but a student can choose which lab they can attend. If you decide you want to take AF02, you can click on the circle beside AF02. If you look under the generated results, you can see that there are many options for schedules. Click the left or right arrow to see all the different combinations of schedules. After you've built your conflict-free schedule, you will find a shopping cart at the bottom of the schedule building screen. My next slide shows a zoomed-in version of this. The codes in the cart are synonyms. Each synonym represents a course and course section that you have chosen in the previous step. You can now take a copy of these synonyms. They will allow you to quickly register into your chosen schedule. Now, step three is actually registering for the courses. Go back to your MyTrent portal. Under the Academics tab, under the Courses heading, click on the Course Express registration icon. Once you click on the Course Express registration icon, you will be directed to the Financial Commitment Statement and the Academic Integrity and Access to Instructions Commitments. You will not be able to register for courses until you have read and understood these statements. Once you have done so, please click the Submit buttons. This is how the Course Express registration looks. Now please paste the synonyms you copied from the schedule builder earlier. You'll have to add in commas to separate each synonym. Press the Submit button at the bottom of the screen when you are ready. After you press the Submit button, the courses will populate in your preferred sections. Please keep in mind that you have not yet registered. You will need to select an action to register. You can choose to register in all courses at once by using the Action for All preferred section. You can see this closer to the top of the screen. Or you can choose to register in one course at a time by selecting Register from the Action drop-down beside each course. When you have successfully registered, you will receive confirmation both to your Trent email address and through the registration confirmation screen. The confirmation screen is the one that was highlighted in red. If your registration is unsuccessful, you will see an error message at the top of the screen. The error message will look like this. It will be in bright red. Two very common errors are seen above. If you do not have prerequisites for a course, you will not be allowed to register. If a course is full, please look for another section that has space or add yourself to the waitlist if there is one. Not all courses will offer a waitlist. And step 4 is ordering a verification of enrollment. Now that you are registered into all your courses, you can order a verification of enrollment. Not all students require this. You should only order this if you need it. This document is used as your official proof that you are registered as a full-time student and may be required by your RESP provider, your bank, your insurance provider, and etc. Please ensure that you are registered for fall and winter courses before ordering your verification of enrollment. You can find this form in your My Trent portal. Click on Academics, scroll down to Forms, and select the icon that says Undergraduate Verification of Enrollment. For more information, please visit the URL here. Many students are always concerned about being able to drop a course. Your registration is never set in stone. You can always drop a course if you need to. If you need to drop a course, you can do this by using the Course Register and Drop icon under the courses heading. Once you click on the icon, you will see your current registration. Under the Drop column, put a check in the box for any courses you wish to drop. You will receive a confirmation page that you have dropped your chosen course or courses that you will receive in an email to your @TrentU email address. If you have any issues with course registration, please use the following information for your help. You can email in or call our college's offices.
So I can see already that there's a lot of questions happening on the website concerning course registration. So we are aware that, that this process does require some time and some consideration, and to really take your time to learn how to do this process properly. When you are about to register, if you are coming up with some questions or situations happening, there's different websites that you can access at any time. So there's the registrar's office has a great website that helps to include information about prerequisite waivers, wait lists, different types of dropping, adding courses information. The advising team has put together a resource that's step-by-step on how to do everything that we are covering in this webinar. We do not expect you to have sat through this webinar and magically be registered into your courses today. Course registration is not open until, what is the date, Linda, that course registration's open?
June 23rd for students who have no credits.
Oh, fantastic. So until June 23rd. You will have an advising team that is going to be waiting for you if you do have any questions. During office hours, you can call Monday to Friday, 9 to 4. You can call our hotline at 705-748 1011, extension 7333, to speak with one of the student staff members. These student staff have registered themselves into courses and helped other students with registration for several years now and are very, very helpful. If you do need more information about first year, Spencer here is going to give you some more information about orientation. And then I've also included on this slide all the different contacts for the different college offices and the Durham campus. Again, if you don't know which college you're associated with yet, you can just email colleges@trentu.ca with any registration questions that you have. Okay, so I'm going to turn it to Spencer to talk a little bit about orientation. Spencer.
All right, so we've already had a few questions rolling in. So if you do have any more questions that were not presentation itself, you can feel free to throw those into the chat as we go forward, and we'll be answering everything that's come up. One frequent question we already have had is where you should live based on which program you're taking. So at Trent, most of our residences aren't specific to program for the most part. So whatever you do choose, you will have access to most of the campus itself. There are specific communities called our living learning communities for certain programs. So specifically forensics, business, and nursing. You would have had to apply for those in your residence application to live in those small communities in each college. But other than that, it is mostly general. So your courses could be in a variety of places on campus, so it's not quite specific based on residence.
Yeah, actually, the colleges are designed to be interdisciplinary. We want you to have make lots of friends with many different people and different majors that are all within your residence, as well as all off-campus students. We want you to be randomly assigned into colleges, or that you can choose a college, but really that they're meant to be interdepartmental related.
There's a ton of benefits to that. It makes it an amazing experience and part of the unique experience of being at Trent, which we love. So another common question is, when does registration open? So I'll let you guys answer that one, but it does depend on how many credits you already have at the university when you'll actually be able to register.
You can visit www.trentu.ca/registrar, and there are a link for every credit that someone can register. For example, today, people with 16 credits could register. I'm guessing most of you are first-year students and don't have credits on your record unless you're a transfer credit student. So you will be able to register on June 23rd, and that would start right at 7 a.m.
Trent has a process called priority registration. And what this does is it allows upper year students who have already achieved a lot of credits the first rights to courses, which is only, it's such a great process that we have to make sure that they are getting the courses they need before their graduation year. So we have priority registration. It depends on what time, how many credits you had, as Linda said, and it can be found in different places. Again, the timetable, anytime you want to know times for registration or which term courses are offered, the timetable can be very helpful as well. All under your My Trent under courses tabs.
Okay, so we're also getting a lot of questions regarding transfer students and certain credits that you may already have coming to the university and how those may affect your programs. But Tina, that might be good for you for resources for transfer students and what we might have coming up.
Absolutely. I've included a slide in this presentation, particularly for transfer students, because transfer students really should be meeting with an advisor to talk about their academic plan. Usually our courses, our programs are all designed to have different amounts of electives for your major, but people who already have transfer credits could then be getting close to this elective count. So you'd always want to be meeting with an academic advisor to make an academic plan before the school year starts. That said, there are some things you can do in the meantime. You can go through your My Trent to look at the transfer credits you've already received. You can look at the academic calendar to see what are the course requirements. Have you already fulfilled any of those with the transfer credits you've received? If you have questions about transfer credits, you really want to address that to the admissions team directly, admissions@trentu.ca. But once you have all of your transfer credits established, please book an appointment and come see an advisor.
We are also getting a fair bit of questions regarding registering for both semesters of courses. So whether you can register for both the fall and winter semester. So,
yeah, for that, we always highly recommend to students to register for both courses, especially when it's relating to financial aid and OSAP. You should register for your fall and winter courses so that your can be confirmed for your enrollment. And just so all students know, you can change your course registration. We understand the winter is kind of far away, that you may not want to take some of those courses that you signed up for. You may have made friends. You may have decided that you fell in love with your first semester professor and you want that professor in your second term again. So you can always go through that and drop your course. And I mentioned that in one of the steps there on how you could actually drop a course. So go right ahead and do that.
Also, any students who are going to be taking history course, a fantastic course, the 10 Days that Shook the World, it is considered a Y course. So what that means, it's a full year course. So when you are planning your courses around that one history course, you'll want to make sure that it's occupying the same time in the fall as it is in the winter. So sometimes that's a great time to be using the full year course planner. Otherwise, if you find it just has too many options and you have all half courses, feel free to organize your courses based on the fall first, and then you can do the winter. But as Linda said, best to have that done before school starts so that all of your OSAP requirements will be met.
Okay. And maybe just a quick reminder then of how many courses you'll be registering for per semester typically.
Typically,
what most
like
do, I guess.
how Tina mentioned that typically people talk about a 4-year degree. It'll be roughly 2.5 credits in each semester, but doesn't mean you have to do the full 2.5. A lot of students are usually concerned about what is deemed as full-time. Total credits for the whole year would be 3.5 credits. That doesn't mean you only have to do 3.5 credits. But typically when we see a full year, a student is fully enrolled in 2.5 for the fall semester and 2.5 in the winter. And if it's full year courses you're taking, just make sure you're in 5 credits for the full year then.
And so again, 2.5 credits would be 5 half courses in one term and 5 half courses in another term. At Trent, we talk in terms of credits because of these full year courses that are worth 1 credit. We can't usually use the word courses, but what we can say is 5 courses each term would be the maximum you could take.
Okay, and we are receiving some questions.
There's so many great questions here, people. We're trying so hard to get through them.
We'll go with another general one. So everybody in this chat and watching this webinar today will likely be in an individual program or looking to take a variety of joint majors or with different minors. So those are all different programs, but where can we find all those resources for the requirements for each individual program?
Okay, so as mentioned at the beginning of this, at the presentation, the academic calendar is an amazing resource. It has every major listed that we offer at Trent. It has all degree requirements listed, both departmental requirements and the university requirements. The academic calendar, however, can be complicated. And while you're just learning all of this new terminology, we understand that it's a lot of information to take in. It always is when you're registering into courses at any university. So what the advisors have done is we've created a page where you can see exactly, we've identified which first year courses for each major. So you have the resource of the academic calendar, www.trentu.ca/calendar. And then you also have the advising webpage that can help you with any types of online resources for registering and selecting your courses. Again, that's www.trentu.ca/advising.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go on to the next question. Just in short, at Trent University, we do have 2 amazing campuses. So there is our Peterborough campus, where a lot of our science courses and the majority of our courses are offered. But we do have our Durham campus as well, which has some specific programs that are unique to Durham. So what kind of process is available for students to take courses at both campuses? And I'll also throw into the mix the availability of online courses.
Yes, actually. So I just made a plan like this with a student last week. It can be quite dynamic when you're trying to plan around different campuses. So there is an option that you can take campuses on the Peterborough campus, on the Peterborough campus and the Durham campus, and web courses all at the same time. But I really want to point out, if you are going to be doing this and you are going to be selecting all those options when you're using the visual schedule builder, is that you have to remember to maybe choose a day per campus. That might make things easier for you because you'd have to drive in between campuses. I think it's about an hour and a half, 45-minute drive between campuses. So you don't want to be, having one course on the Peterborough campus and a half an hour later over in Oshawa. So definitely paying attention to what times you're selecting. With the student that I was working with, there were 2 students I was working with on this question. They were going to be choosing certain specific days in Oshawa, certain days on the Peterborough campus, and then they had their web course as well. So they were able to make that work.
We do have some questions regarding specific transfer credits from high school. So in regards to AP credits and IB credits.
Yeah.
So,
it's really quite exciting now. We're seeing a lot of transfer credits from the high school level. And so you'd want to be paying attention to what those transfer credits are to make the most of them. If you are getting, say, psychology 1020 and 1030 from a high school transfer, that means that you've already achieved those first year credits and can move on to second year psychology courses then. You do not need to retake them to be prepared. The university would not give you those transfer credits if we did not believe that they were equivalent. So you can be confident to then move forward. If that is the case, again, you might want to meet with an advisor to solidify your plan before school starts. Whenever people, especially transfer students and first year students who are looking to talk with an advisor directly about transfer credits, we definitely would want to say, go ahead, pick your courses to the best of your abilities. You know, you have all the way till September to talk with an advisor. So please do not think you have to see an advisor before you pick your classes. Linda's shown you in this presentation that you can drop courses. You can change your schedule and move courses around. And we will be doing that a lot before the September term starts. You can even do that all the way into the first 2 weeks of September, although it's not always recommended. You'd want to be in your classes on the first day of school starts.
We did have a question as well. So somebody asking about how they can track their progress and find resources for which credits they've already taken and how many are left for graduation. Where would they be able to access those materials?
That's actually going to be with Tina as well for academic advising, because they're going to meet with an academic advisor or using some tools that they have created online for them. So Tina's probably going to tell you a little bit more about how to book an academic advising program, where you can find those tools.
You know, one of the things you can always do is go through the academic calendar and make a list. So that's always the first place where I start with all students looking to plan their degree. What are the requirements? List them out. What are those upper year course options? Why don't you look ahead in the academic calendar, see what you have to come? I remember my first year at Trent. The academic calendar, by the way, is a PDF online, but you can have it printed off at the print shop when you get here. But, you know, I used to spend a lot of time with that academic calendar because it really is showing you all the future courses that are available in each major. I used to look through it and get really excited for third year and fourth year classes that are to come, and I would make sure that I was taking the prerequisites for those courses eventually. Now, again, first year courses are intended for exploring, but once you get up to the second year courses, that's 2,000 level credits and 3,000 level credits, 4,000 level credits, the number of prerequisites start to increase. So you might want to look ahead and see what courses you'd like to take and kind of start aiming for those paths now. But I mean, I used to love the academic calendar.
I should say I'm a proud graduate of Trent University because I sat down with Tina during my undergraduate to actually go through the courses I needed left. So thank you. I made it. That's just one little tidbit. But
thank you.
We did have some other questions as well. So whether first year courses are first come, first serve, what the availability is for those.
Actually, Linda, would you like to?
So there are, for first year courses, there aren't, say, a cap on every single course. You are different sections for it. We do always highly recommend students to pick their courses that they want right away so that you get the section that you want. Say if you want a Monday morning class, I don't know if anyone wants a Monday morning class, but right away you can choose that you have that Monday morning class and just wait to fit in. If you have a work schedule, you definitely decide on which courses you want to take first. And if we can't exactly anticipate if they're going to fill up right away. It depends on the students registering for courses. Mm-hmm. I would say when I was a first year student, I started right at 7 a.m. on June 23rd and registered for all the courses that I want. You can preload your visual schedule builder in your MyTrent and have it ready to go for June 23rd. It's open right now. You just won't be able to actually register to the course. So you could build your schedule and have it ready to go and then quickly put it into the express registration section there.
In the morning. Mm-hmm. So, you know, this is a fluid process. As courses fill up, they will also be opening up new spots because every day students are going to be moving in and out of courses. They're going to be changing their schedules around. So while a course might look full one day, it might not be the next. Really, the whole point is to stay calm. You're going to get into your classes. We're all here to help. Can I promise you are not going to have a Friday morning class? Nope, I cannot promise you that. But you know, you're a student, you're a full-time student. That would be your full-time job, is to be a student, and really 9 to 5, 4 days a week should be expected.
So this is a question that's not exactly specific to course registration itself, but it's regarding tuition deposits and residence fees. So those fees are all available on our website. So we'll post the link for that to you for you to actually access the dates themselves. But the tuition deposit off the top of my head is June 23rd for the $600 deposit that's required for just holding your spot at the university. And then June 2nd was the deadline for residence. And so that was the guaranteed deadline. But we will still accept residence deposits and applications after that. But that was the guaranteed time for your spot in residence at the university. In addition to that, we'll move on to more.
There's a question I'd like to address. Could I do that, Spencer?
Absolutely.
Carter asked a question. Is there a way that Visual Schedule Builder can block courses that are only available to certain programs? So I'd like to address this question because a beautiful part about being at Trent is that you are not blocked from courses depending on what program you're in. Now, there are some programs, the only courses where their program courses are protected would be the social work upper-year courses and the nursing first-year courses. But other than that, every course is open to all students. We do not want to limit you in any way. You have a great opportunity at Trent to expand on what your degree is. If you're a science major, you are allowed to take some arts courses. If you're an arts major, you're allowed to take some science courses as your electives. So again, trentu.ca/advising will lead you to online resources that can help first-year students pick the required courses and also show you the different resources we have for choosing electives. So make your list and then go to Schedule Builder before you.
I also noticed there were some questions about scholarships being mentioned, just about the 90 plus and your course load, because we mentioned that you don't necessarily have to take 5 credits for the academic year. I'm not really the expert. I'm not sure if Tina is on the scholarships, but if you do have questions, I highly recommend emailing into our scholarships email. It's scholarships@trentu.ca. Just email in and give them your email from your Trent email, your student number, and just mention that you want to maybe take some summer courses, so maybe make up for the 5.0 credits. I'm not sure if you're still eligible for your scholarship there, but the scholarships email there will definitely give you a good answer.
Absolutely.
I should also say you're always able to call us at our offices as well. So our main line for Trent University is 705-748-1011.
Yeah.
And you can just call that line and you can get in touch with us at our front desks, and we'll be able to guide you to whichever resource may be the best to help you.
Yes.
Definitely have that available. Okay, so more questions about specific course requirements coming from high school for prerequisites for the university level courses.
Okay. So in the academic calendar or on the Visual Schedule Builder, each course has a description, and within that description, it's going to have information about prerequisites. When it comes to university courses, the prerequisite for the first year level courses are really just, they're really strongly recommended courses that you should have taken to be prepared. That said, we have had in the past, some art students who do want to try out a science course. If you are going to do such a thing and you don't have the required courses, you do realize you would have to do a lot of extra work and be ready to do a lot of extra work to catch up on the course content for that course. Really, they have the recommended courses outlined there, and if you want to make that decision, you would contact the department of the course you're interested in to learn more.
Some questions regarding which professors you'll have for certain courses, and maybe either of you can answer this, but what kind of information is available in advance for who will be teaching each course section?
That's complicated for first-year courses. It's complicated because a lot of our first-year courses are designed to have multiple instructors. So what we want to do is put a lot of our best instructors from each department into these first-year courses. We want to show you different teaching styles. So quite often, these first year courses can have multiple teachers, or they can have just one. So in the visual schedule builder, it will be listed who the main contact for each course will be. But again, if you want to know very specific information like that, you can always contact your department. Your department has an administrative staff that can help to field some of those more specific questions.
We did have a quick question regarding daycares on campus as well.
Oh.
So we do have a daycare located on our main Peterborough campus. So that resource is definitely available to you here.
You'd want to definitely sign up early for that and be following up on the availability. Daycare is always a challenge, no matter where you are. I did see someone ask about honors science, and I would like to address honors science. We have a lot of programs now that are giving out offers for honors science. Honors science is usually given to a student who has identified that they just want to study in the sciences and have not yet selected a major. It's also given to students as an alternate offer for nursing. So students who were interested in nursing and are planning to go towards applying into the second year of nursing would be given an honor science. And science with focus on forensics is also offered out to students who are looking at joint majors for forensics. Sometimes they're alternate offers for the core forensics program. So honor science is a large group of people that I would actually like to address. It really, what you should be taking is going to completely depend on why you have honor science as your major. So if you are choosing honor science because you have not yet selected a major, that's fantastic. You can then just start exploring the first year requirements for many different majors that you might be interested in. If you're having honor science because you're interested in nursing, you would have received a document that will outline very specifically what the requirements will be for applying to nursing in second year. There's two layers there. One is at a high school or college requirement layers where you have to have English, math, chemistry, and biology at the 4U level with certain averages. Again, this information can be found on the nursing website or again through admissions. But if you are choosing the nursing path, there are specific courses that they're recommending for you to take. If you are an honor science student aiming for nursing, they do want you to be taking the first year psychology courses. And they do want you to be taking the anatomy and physiology and other first year courses. Again, if this is your path, please make sure that you're connecting with the admissions team to find out why you were given this offer. Do you have the high school requirements? Do you have the college equivalents? And let them help you as well, guide on what you need for applying in second year. And then again, you can talk to an advisor at a later date. For people aiming for the forensics path. So this is a more complicated one, which is why I'm spending more time with it, because then if you're aiming for the forensics path and you're given honor science, if you wanted to do a joint major, you'd want to look into different programs you'd like to combine with forensic science. We haven't talked about joint majors at all in this, in this webinar yet. And it's really such a great opportunity that we have at Trent that you can actually have joint majors. I myself did a joint major in biology and environmental science when I was a Trent student. I didn't start out that way. I was starting out straight biology, but I found when I was taking the environmental courses, I really liked them and was naturally just taking the requirements for a joint degree. So I switched to a joint degree. If you received an honor science with focus on forensics, it means that you'd want to be looking at the first year courses required for forensics, which we've outlined on the advising website, and that's outlined in the calendar. But you'd also want to be picking what would be a joint major. Why don't you look at all the upper year courses offered for forensic students and see if there's any trends that you're seeing. For instance, we have a strong connections between forensics and anthropology. There's very strong connections between forensics and biology. A lot of students are looking at the more criminology angle of forensics, and they're interested in doing joint majors in psychology and forensics. So there's a lot of different options. Again, you just want to pick your classes that will open up opportunities in the future that you're interested in. So if you're interested in psychology, take the first year psychology courses so you can take second year courses. If you're interested in forensics, take the first year forensics courses so that you can open those opportunities.
So there was one question for Linda that maybe we'll ask. In terms of course conflicts, so if you have two courses you're interested in and scheduling that way, how might there be tools to?
For course conflicts, no student would be able to actually register themselves in a course conflict.
Yes.
So if you have a class that you want to take, say you want to take a business course and a biology course, and they're both Monday morning 9 to 12, you won't be able to take both courses. You can get in contact with your professor to see if it is possible to take it, but it is highly recommended, especially first year, is to not take courses that conflict, because you're going to be missing a lot of material and it's going to be hard to catch up. And that's why in the system, you're not allowed to register for course conflicts.
And an advisor would, if there is a conflict in required courses, for instance. So I just spoke with a student today about they're going into their second year. They've changed to a science major and now want to add the math in. The math's conflicting with their required second year courses. You know, if that's the case, you would just look at the prerequisite for the third year courses. Which of these courses are mandatory for you to take that year? You're going to have to select between the two of them. And ways that you can, things to consider when you're making those decisions are you have 4 years to complete your degree. Look at the upper year courses, what the prerequisites are. Is there another time when you can be planning that course? Sometimes, if it is something like a math course, you might want to get that underway in your first year. So that, because you just had your high school math to have that consistency. But besides that, again, I saw another question about joint major requirements, which I'm super happy to see. Again, these are found in the academic calendar. So underneath every major, you basically have single major requirements and the joint major requirements. I'm going to use an example of psychology and forensics because that's the example that was asked on this on the feed. So if you looked under the psychology page, you would see the 8 credits that are required for a joint major in psychology. So that's 8 credits for psychology. You would then have 7 credits required for forensics. That's a total of 15 credits that would be required. 8 and 7 is 15. Yes, we're all good with that. And then that means that for your 20 credit total degree, you would have 5 full electives. When you're trying to pick out what courses would be needed for that type of a major, you would be combining those 2 lists. So in the psychology, it would say 1020 and 1030, psychology 1020, 1030 each. For forensics, it would be 1010, 1011 each. They also have, forensics has a third first year credit. It is the law course, it's 1100. And that course is actually a prerequisite for a lot of second year courses. So you might want to add that one to the list. And again, on the advising page, where we do have a summary of the different requirements, we have listed which courses are required for each major. So if you're a joint major, you'd look under psychology and forensics.
We did have a few questions about course codes as well. So which ones indicate which year and et cetera.
Yeah, so if you guys go back to the academic calendar, like we keep referencing, sorry, but if you look under, say, for example, business administration in the academic calendar, you'll see all the codes are ADMN, just a short form for, we'll sometimes refer to it as admin. If you see a 1, it's first year course. If you see a 2, it's a second year course. And some courses you may not end up actually taking in your second year if it's a 2 level. You may take it in your third year sometimes. Depends on how you planned out your degree. Is that the main question about the code? Or was
and the other question was about just based on year. So which code indicates which year? But it's,
I think it depends on each. It depends on how you plan your degree. I wouldn't necessarily say that a 3-digit will actually mean a third year course that you're going to be taking in your third year. You may take it in your third year, but you may also take it in your 4th year, for example.
I guess that's a question for you as well. So course planning, if you're in 4th year, are you able to take first year courses?
Oh yeah,
Mix and match, yeah.
So at Trent, you're expected to take first year credits generally in your first year. There are some second year courses open to you in different departments that you can explore, and if they usually tell you that they're available to first year students, or they just have no prerequisites. But generally at Trent, you're allowed to take up to 7.0 credits in first year courses. So again, if you're taking 5 in your first year, you would still have 2.0 or 4 half courses left for the rest of your degree that you can take sporadically. There are no rules about when you can take these courses as long as you have the prerequisites for moving forward. You know, I was talking about first year, second year courses, third year courses is hard for advisors because students are going to progress through their degrees at different time frames. And so really it's more we look at prerequisites more than what year to take the credit.
There was questions regarding teachers' education streams
Yeah.
as well. So that's, I guess it's a bit of a unique experience, but you can...
You know, the teachers' education stream is a great opportunity we have at Trent now. You can find all of that information again in the academic calendar under education. Under education, we have the consecutive education information, and we also have the teacher stream. Basically, what teacher stream students are doing is they're basically going to be choosing a major that's not teacher stream. They still have to choose their major. You can choose majors that you're interested in. The teacher stream, you know, you want to take into considerations different requirements for the consecutive teaching. So, you know, the first thing I ask students is, did you want to teach primary or secondary school? Primary school doesn't have teachable requirements, secondary does. All of that information for the teaching stream can be found under education under the calendar, and it actually refers you to an emphasis page, an emphasis in teaching that's at near the back of the PDF. And that emphasis in teachers' education, really, it outlines exactly what you need and tells you what the teachables are. And then, you know, eventually, in your first year, you're really just selecting courses that you're interested in, that you may want to use as a teachable, but also you might want to look at the emphasis. You know, they have some philosophy courses that are foundational credits for that emphasis. They have some first year I think it's cultural studies courses that can also be used for those foundations. So something to look at would be just to look at the foundational list in the academic calendar under the emphasis of teachers' education.
And there's also a question regarding medical professional stream. So there will be more concrete information coming about a medical professional stream advancing into the summer, but it works in a similar sense to teachers' education stream where you'll be having additional programming on top of your degree for this program. So mentorship opportunities, volunteer experiences, and MCAT preps, those kind of things in addition. So if you have been accepted into this program, we will be in touch with further information on that going into the summer. And I would encourage anybody looking at that program specifically to attend our orientation event on June 23rd. We will be doing a 1-hour session specifically for medical professional streams on that day. So it would be a great time to come in and to talk to the people that are putting the stream together. So that would be a great day as well.
It's always going to be recommended, again, even for the medical profession, you're going to choose courses that you think you're going to do well in. You're going to choose courses that you like. It's really important to get higher grades when you're aiming for the medical profession. So if you're trying to choose your courses, choose courses that you're going to excel in. There's not one major that leads to becoming a doctor or a lawyer. These things just require successful academic standing.
Do what you love.
Yeah, do what you love.
And would you be able to speak about medical option as well, moving forward?
I think that's the same thing that you just said, actually.
The medical options is going to be more specifically, I believe, taking the specific courses that'll help you to get to certain degree options in medicine. So whether it's dentistry, professional medicine programs in themselves, so the core courses that are required for application into those streams. But
so the word option would imply that it's kind of like a minor. So these are new terms that we have at Trent. In the past, we always had minors and emphases or specializations. Those are the different things that you can tack onto your degree. Trent has now included an option as an additional thing to attack onto your degree, kind of like a minor. It shows that you're fluid in that different topic. So all the options are listed in the academic calendar. We currently do not have a medical option. That's something that is in the progress. Again, as I mentioned, we do have, what did you talk, the emphasis in?
There's medical professional stream, and there's also the pre-medical option.
And then there's also a biomed club. And you know what? Those students are fantastic, great club to get to know all of the ins and outs of the many different university requirements for anything in the health field. So really, if you are, looking at aiming towards anything in the health field, it's great to just join this club and get started on learning more about those post-secondary options.
Just great options to help you on your pathways.
Yeah.
So we are going to begin to wrap up here. So if you do have any last questions that you would like to have answered, just please feel free to continue throwing into the question and answers portion of the chat, and we can definitely address those in the next few minutes here.
I can see one right now that's Honors Science Program in Psychology and Business. So anytime I see science program option with business, I would just like to point out that while you can do this you should be able to do this within the 20 credits, you are really going to have to focus on science in your electives. So all psych courses are considered science, and business courses are not. You can do up to 2.0 of the 8.0 credits. Sorry, this is going to get technical. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
2.0 of the 8.0 business courses can be science. So you have your first year economics, those are considered science. You also have, there's 2 economics courses in the 3rd year that could be considered science that you can add to the business degree. So you can get 2.0 of the 14 science credits done through business. The rest have to be completely in your psych courses and your electives. So if you do that math, 2 out of 8 for science and business, then you'll have your 8 credits that are for psych. So then that would be 10 credit science, and 4 of your elective credits are going to have to be science in order to get it all done within the 20 credit degree. Thank you for that question. It has been coming up more frequently as people are doing these amazing things of combining business with the sciences. It's a great opportunity.
And there was also a specific question regarding our journalism program.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get here if you'd like to address it.
Yeah, so the journalism program is a great opportunity where we're combining Trent University courses in the first 2 years, and then you move on to the Loyalist. Also, I think Loyalist programming happens in the summer term. When you have questions about the journalism program, you have a specific advisor already associated with your department, because you do want to make sure you're taking all of those required courses. So it would really depend on which majors you're going to be using for journalism. It's kind of like a joint major, just as I think, is it Jim that posed this question? Yeah, so Jim, it really is a joint major. So as I've said, it's in the academic calendar. It'll tell you what's required for the journalism side. It also gives a lot of information about the journalism program in that academic calendar. And then you would be choosing another major to join with journalism.
And we also had William ask, when and where do students declare specializations, joint majors, all those kind of things?
Linda.
You can do that right in your My Trent portal. We always say by the end of first year, beginning of second year, you should try to declare a major, because it will stop you when you register in courses. You're going to log into your My Trent portal, click on academics, scroll down to forms, and there's a change of major there. You can change your major there. So if you started off in maybe the honor science, say you wanted to major in biology, you can change that there, and say if you want to do a specialization in health sciences, you could put that in there as well. And it doesn't mean you have to decide right away that you want to do a specialization, a minor or option, but you will have to declare a major before you start registering for your second year.
And again, you can usually just declare what you want to study, but you still have to follow the requirements in the academic calendar in order to graduate with what you've declared. So if you select that you want to follow the specialization in health sciences, then you would want to go to that biology section to look at that specialization to see if you can meet those requirements within your degree.
And just to answer, we will be wrapping up here shortly, so in the next few minutes. So again, just get those questions in now.
There was a few questions about how you can basically preload your shopping cart for registering for courses. It's basically the steps that I did right before you got into the express course registration section. So I did the visual schedule builder in there where you could see your schedule. You could go to the generator route, see all the options there, and then you get that little shopping cart at the bottom. Just keep those pasted in there, and you can load them up there and then ready to go when you want to register. So once it gets into your preferred sections, you wouldn't be able to register because it's not time yet. On June 23rd in the morning, you could register there.
Actually, Coach, I saw another comment. Someone's asking if they can do an emphasis and a specialization. You know, you can do a lot of things. There's a lot of flexibility in your degree. We can't just answer that as a general statement because I don't even know what your major is. You know, you have 4 years to plan your degree at Trent. Once you choose your first year courses and, you know, get a feel for your first year, book an advising appointment within that first year to start making a plan for all the additional things you want to be doing. Can you take both an emphasis and a specialization? You technically could, but can you fit it all in within your 20 credits? That's going to be your responsibility. So really you would be looking at the different lists of all the requirements and trying to do the math and trying to make a schedule to see if can you fit those really in. I personally did a joint major in biology and environmental science with a specialization in conservation. So yes, you know, planning. I did. I tried to fit it all in. And, you know, you can do that too. You can make the most, you can get the most into your degree. But again, in terms of should you take extra credits to do all that, you'd want to discuss that with an advisor. There's different ways that you can advertise how you've specialized within your electives on a resume or on a cover letter as well. Like there's just different ways that you can show all of your amazing work in your university. I would recommend, you know, even making appointments with a career center during the first, second year at school to see just how can you get the most out of that degree.
I see a really good question from someone saying that do they officially have to declare their specialization? I highly recommend you do declare it because when you apply to graduate, it'll automatically format into your application to graduate. If it's not in the system, you won't get that on your degree then. And you still have to meet your requirements like Tina mentioned, but it also has to be in the system for us to know that you want that when you graduate. Because you won't be able to automatically know that you're wanting that specialization in health sciences, for example.
And there was one specific question for nursing as well, where students coming into first year may find more information for requirements. From
oh yes, I saw that. I saw that scroll. Thanks so much for that question. Where would you find that information? So I know it's on the website. I don't have a computer in front of me to walk you through it right now, but I'm going to try and use it from memory. It is under the nursing website. There is an admissions section under the nursing website. I think it's actually program requirements. I don't know.
We'll try to get it pulled up.
Yeah, so you will get that pulled up. But it's over on the left-hand column. There is admissions requirements. And then if you scroll to the bottom of that page, under the collaborative program, you will see the requirements for transfer students going into applying into nursing for the second year. And there's a document there for those requirements. Yeah. Can you find that?
We will hopefully find that for you.
Yeah, that's okay.
And again, so this is a great one. This is just generally for any questions that you may have. What are the best email that we can use or resources to get in touch with more help?
Oh my goodness, there's help everywhere at Trent. And that's always it's never the problem. So always, if you need help, you can send an email to the colleges@trentu.ca. So once you're associated with your college, you can start contacting your college on a regular basis if you have specific questions. If you have questions about registration, however, that might be technical. Maybe it's you're having a technical difficulty. You can work that out with the college with a college staff, or you may also be able to contact the registrar's office directly. If it's a question about if your department's offering specific courses, you can also talk to your department directly about questions that you have. But again, if you'd like to have a first place of contact, you could go to your colleges for help.
Mm-hmm. And again, our summer orientation events are amazing resources. So those dates are all on our website. trentu.ca/orientation is where you can find when these events will be taking place.
Mm-hmm.
And you can physically register for them in themselves. So if you want to head over to that webpage, I would definitely recommend that as a...
And upon closing, I think we are closing up soon. When you first applied to Trent and accepted your offer, you were given the link to our welcome page. The trentu.ca/welcome is a great starting page for all first year students. It gives a long list of next steps and links to important places that you should be aware of before coming to Trent, including orientation. So yes, I welcome you to go to our welcome page whenever you do need to catch up on what step is next.
Okay. So I believe that is all we have time for today. So I would like to thank everybody for stopping by. I think it's been an incredibly informative evening. And we had a ton of great questions.
Thank you so much for attending.
So thank you guys very much for stopping by. Please attend the upcoming events that we have. And if ever you have questions, just get in touch with us. We would love to chat. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, we're on all those platforms. But if you want to go old school, we will pick up the phone and answer, and email as well. TrentU.ca is usually your best resource to find anything. My Trent portal as well. So
I hope to see you at orientation.
Yeah, let's do. Thank you very much for coming tonight, and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.